Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's the first live stream I've had in a while. So if you're in the chat, say hello. Blue Crayon is currently at work. Haha. So he'll be dipping in and out. Hello, why does phone not work? I don't know why your phone doesn't work, Joe. But welcome back to the channel, as always. Let's see who else is here. Stand in silence. Hello. Welcome back. And we have Future Boy here as well. I feel like I've been neglecting the live streams for a little while, and I want to pop back in, but I didn't really have anything really prepared for this, and it was a last minute kind of thing. So I hope you have some questions or some topics to talk about. Steve, hello Graham, it's been a while. Hope you're well. I am doing pretty good actually. We have Paige, hi. Hope you're doing well. And we have hi from Kelly. Hello, Big P. It's me, your favourite. I'm here early this time, just in time. That's perfect, fantastic. Chris, well, COVID, which is Home Welcome Isolation Company. I hope you're feeling well. Hope it wasn't too bad. Let me know how the effects of this were, and that you're doing fine. You got those today already. That's great. Just posted them yesterday. I hope they're in good condition. And we have blah blah. Always good to see you here. Hopefully we'll have some comments and some questions and some topics to get started and get the ball rolling. And Joel Woods, you've always wanted to know where I got all my ideas from. That's from daydreaming at work, wondering what I could do when I'm not at work. So yeah. Maybe it's of interest, but you're currently at work in the projection tech department of a cinema. That's super interesting. I would like to know more about that, what you actually do, and what movies you're screening at the moment. Because I've got a couple of trips to the cinema booked this week. It's been a while since I've been there, but I've got some movies lined up, some things I've been meaning to see, and some new movies that I'm not particularly eager to see. I have Scream, Jackass Forever, and Death on the Nile lined up for this week. Big P's in there with a question. If you were to purge your whole collection bar one title box set, what would it be? I would keep my Hitchcock box set, which is on a shelf way up there, which is my favourite set. I think it's 16 of the man's movies. And I love a good bit of Hitchcock, and those are my prized possessions. Future Boy, what's my most anticipated upcoming release? Of things that are actually announced. What would I say is my most anticipated? Because there's been a lot of stuff announced that I am super interested in. I think Violent City. I think the ones it's been announced so far, because it's Bronson, it's Telly Savalas, it's a Poliziotto movie, all kind of things that I really love. Let's see, we've got Joe Woods, Army Hammer did nothing wrong. He's just a hungry actor. Viva Death in the Nile. Oh, wow. Neil, your cinema are going to show The Godfather for its 50th anniversary. That would be amazing to see on the big screen. Blah, blah. Jackass looks fun and you're looking forward to the Batman. I think the Batman looks exceptional. The more I see, the more interested I am. The fact that it's got a 3-hour running time, I don't think that could be a bad thing. I don't think so. It looks amazing. It could be an all-encompassing Batman movie. Dark, brooding. I'm interested. Good answer. Thanks very much. Oh, Paige, you're looking forward to Alligator 4K. That's a title as well. I never thought about that, but yeah, I'm super curious about that one. Graham is, of course, hoping for Blood Rage 4K. Not quite. Another Batman fan. It'll soon be here. It's a matter of weeks. Art House Cinema, currently showing Boiling Point. I've been meaning to watch that. I've heard nothing but great things. Belfast, Parallel Mothers, Flea, and the classic 400 Blows. Your voice sounds higher pitched. Are you going mad? Yes, yes, look, you're going mad. Welcome to the channel. Or it could be that I've had a beer or two. Nothing if but professional. Turn the Blue Iris. Hey all. Hello, welcome to the channel. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer wasn't on my radar till you saw the movie yesterday. You were extremely impressed. Yeah, Henry's a dark and brooding movie. It's not one that's easily forgettable once you've checked it out. I have seen that movie maybe 2 or 3 times in my life, and it is haunting. Everybody's talking about my high-pitched voice. An optical disc. Hello from the Netherlands. Any thoughts on the Oscars? I know your favourite Oscar winners, Forrest Gump, Crash, and you're like, yes, yes. Super trolls. I'm kind of a little bit shocked that Villeneuve did not get Best Director. I think that he did a wonderful job bringing that movie to life, and the direction is exceptional, and he should have been nominated. Steph, how many years have I been collecting for now? I would say I started collecting media probably 25 years ago. Yeah, maybe longer. Videotapes, laser discs, DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, and the inevitable next future generation of physical media, whatever that is. I'll probably be collecting that as well, no doubt, even though physical media is dying, apparently. Has anyone seen Amulet? No. I have never heard of it. I'm going to have a Google for it. I should show what I'm doing here. Let's change it to that. Yeah, sounds all right. The rating spread isn't great. And the reviews aren't great. It's something I'm interested in, I suppose. Let's see. Criminal Last Duel Card Counter with Oscar Isaacs got stumped. Yeah, Card Counter was exceptional. I think Paul Schrader did an immense job filming that, especially some of the torture sequences where they had the kind of rolled out 360 camera angle, which was just wonderful. And Oscar Isaac was awesome in that. Villeneuve should have been nominated. Brolin's video about that was hilarious. I don't think I've seen that yet. Not sure if the UK have the buy two get one sale from Amazon. I don't think so. Not that I've seen as yet. And we've got a vote up for my high-pitched voice. I was looking around for a movie you talked about, Village of the Giants, but couldn't find the Blu-ray version. Where did I find it? Village of the Giants. I don't think that was me. Nope. That movie is not one that I'm familiar with at all. Do I still collect laser discs? No. There was a tragic water accident a number of years ago, and all my VHS and laser discs were so badly damaged that they ended up just being thrown out, which you think would kind of put me off collecting physical media, but it didn't. I still do it. Yeah. Yep, you mentioned Beyond Infinite 2 minutes. It's only 70 minutes long, currently 99p to rent on Amazon as well. Yeah, I may get that because you compared it to One Cut of the Dead, which I utterly adore, and yeah, I've heard the title before, so I 99p. That's fair enough. I may get that and watch that tonight after the show. So you loved Saint Maud, you might check out Amulet too. You recently watched The Last Duel, and it's your favourite Ridley Scott movie in years. Um, I've not watched it as yet. I was kind of put off by a lot of the reviews that I seen of people just hating on the movie, but I'm slowly starting to hear this groundswell of people saying that it's worth checking out, and it's got a kind of Rashomon style setting about it. Only series award baited dramas tend to get director noms. Well, it certainly seems that way. Although it was nice to see a big budgeted movie like Dune get 10 nominations, I think it was. I don't really pay too much attention to the Oscars because it's not my kind of films most of the time. Okay, here's a question. Do I still own any VHS? If so, which would I let go of? I only have a few VHS tapes. I've got this awesome Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels one. I'll see if I can find it online. It comes in a kind of briefcase design. I can't find it. There it is. Okay, let's so this one here, that's where it comes in. It's this kind of suitcase type thing there. You open it up, you've got the screenplay, the director's cut, some cards, and poker chips. And that's probably my favourite VHS that I have at the moment. I've got a Titanic limited edition and some other ones that are stored in a box somewhere. Razor wire reviews. Blu-ray condition to return when? Whenever you are able, my friend. I am eager to bring that show back. I miss it. Fuzz Aldrin. How's it going? You may have missed. Yeah. It's easy to mix me up with another high-pitched Scottish YouTuber. Yeah. Yeah, you've actually changed it to 1.5 speed, and it sounds way better. That's the way to do it. That's positive thinking. I like that. You can't wait for Indicator to come to America. I believe their first titles landed in January, if I'm not mistaken. The first 4 titles that they had. It's amazing that critics have come around on Jackass. I love that it's critically acclaimed in the pompous press for writing articles about how amazing Jackass 2 was. I love the Jackass movies. It's like an escapism when you're at the cinema. You're not really watching a narrative. You're just watching the camaraderie of these crazy friends do something that is completely ridiculous and outlandish. And you feel as if you're part of the group for that small period of time. And it's incredibly funny. Pig should have been nominated. Cage was incredible. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Pig was probably one of my favourite movies of last year. Steve Smith, The Last Duel is fantastic. House of Gucci, though, crikey, what a clunker. I've not seen either of those, but they are on my to-watch list. So I consider myself warned. House of Gucci was the film of the year for me. Leto was magnetic. Your Blu-ray shelves look full. Did you cancel The Great Purge? No. I got rid of a lot. I cleared out a lot. I've got the 250 movies out. I just kind of rearranged all my racks so I could get things in that weren't here. Like where is it? Yeah, all my Italian movies from 88 Films are up here. They weren't previously in the collection, so I've kind of preened and moved stuff about. Have I ever done a review of Phenomena? Not a video review. Have I done a video review? I can't remember. Do you know, I'll have a quick check and see. Because I've done 2,000 movie reviews, so there is every possibility that I did do one. Nope, I have not. For some reason, I've missed that one out. I did do a podcast review on it a while back. I'm looking forward to the 4K that's coming out. My favourite part of Phenomena, and this is a spoiler, is the whole side story with the say, ape who goes all sad and strolls through parks and drinks orange juice and finds knives. Great. Have I seen Moonfall? Yes. Yes, I did see Moonfall, and wow, the people who made that, they must have been on like just amazing drugs. Amazing, because it's one of the most ludicrous, bonkers, hilarious films I think I've seen in the longest while. The cinema that I was in was really in riotous laughter at the sheer nonsense. And what comes in the final third, unbelievable. It's your Star Wars trilogy that cannot be replaced. I have the widescreen silver box edition in VHS of that. Joel's back again. Hoffman and Blockhouse were among the first US releases, and they are exceptional. If someone that defends Jared Leto beside his portrayal in The Joker, but his accent in House of Gucci, looking at the trailer, is laughable. Yeah, I'll probably end up watching it at some point if it falls onto streaming. The Last Duel, not great. Kind of Memento formula. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Good evening. Just joined and heard half the sentence which you mentioned. Pig. Were you talking about Adam Mason's Pig? No. Michael Sarnowski. The one with Nicolas Cage, which came out last year. You could really relate to the Collecting 2.0 regret video. Thanks for sharing. Yes, I feel now. Obviously, you see the shelves behind me, and they're pretty full, but they've been curated. There are more movies that I do kind of love. I've cleared out a lot of stuff that I didn't like. You don't see the rack next to me, which is pretty empty now, and I've managed to get my watch pile down to roughly about 20 movies, which I'm really happy with, and it feels nice having some space. It feels nice knowing that if I do pick up anything, there is room for it to go into the collection, and I'm not struggling to make things fit. And then we get to the other extreme. You have 10 different discs of Suspiria. The mating and reproducing. That's my excuse. We've all got that one title, sometimes more if you're really unlucky, where we've got multiple copies of it. I think for me, it's at the moment, The Thing. I think I currently have 4 versions of that, although I'm trying to get rid of a couple of them. Pausing and skipping over this part as I've not yet watched Phenomena. No more spoilers, please. Sorry. It's probably one of the best parts as well. Let's see. Moonfall was monumentally dumb, but sadly it wasn't bad enough to be enjoyable for me. It's one of those movies that I was in equal parts gobsmacked by what I saw and kind of enjoyed parts of it, but equally I was rolling my eyes a hell of a lot. I'm never going to watch it again, ever, or even think about it. Let's see. Emo Badger, you're about to watch The Kindred, recently released by Synapse. You're hoping for gold. I haven't seen that one, so I don't know. Blah blah, you're gathering Moonfall is so rubbish is brilliant from the comments here. Honestly, you're not prepared for the third act change that comes in this movie out of nowhere, and it's just so unbelievable. It is the only way to describe it. I mean, I would recommend going to see it in the big screen because it is a sight to behold, just not a great sight. Well, look, when I say 20 unwatched films, I mean 20 films that I've bought recently that I haven't watched. There's still a plethora of unwatched movies in amongst here that I really need to get to. It's been bugging you. Did I get rid of Hostel and Hostel 2 from my collection because I don't like them? No, I like Hostel and Hostel 2. I'm never quite sure which one I prefer, but I actually have digital copies of them. I've got a lot of digital copies of movies on my iTunes account. Some people gave me codes, some people gifted me some iTunes cards, and I picked up a lot of movies. So I figured that things that I've got on there that I can watch at any point, I may as well just get rid of the discs because I have a copy of it rather than take up space. Great. I'm sad to hear you're getting rid of most of your collection, but now I will at least be able to get my hands on the slasher classic titles you're missing. Those are going nowhere. One great big hurdle that I still have in my collecting is numbered collections. A little thing for those numbers that just all tally numerically. I can't break free from that. Even if there's a title within those 50 slasher classics I don't like, I'd still keep it because it's, well, I can't break that number chain. I'd like to know what you're missing though. We're looking for a disaster film for this year's marathon, and The Wandering Earth sounds The Wandering Earth is good. I would check that out. Again, it's crazy. They're going to put engines on the Earth and drive it somewhere else. It's big, it's brash, it's great. What's the worst movie that I instantly know the answer to that one. Monsters Dark Continent. I paid to see that and I hated it. And I kept wanting to just leave the cinema, but I was torn because I wanted to stay to the end so that I could pronounce that it was garbage rather than leave halfway through and have people say, well, you didn't see the full thing. Hate that movie. It takes a lot for me to hate a movie. Monsters Dark Continent did it. The first one, immense movie, fantastic, well done. The second one was an abomination. What's the worst cinema experience I've had? I went to see The Joker. I went to see The Joker at the cinema, and there's a moment where he kind of psychologically starts to break, and there's this alarm system kind of going off in the background, like a warning alarm. And then after about 5 minutes, the alarm was still going. And we suddenly realized that it was the fire alarm of the cinema. The whole place had been evacuated with the exception of our screen, who were still sitting there watching the Joker until finally somebody from another screen ran in and told us to leave. So that's probably my worst experience. Hostel 2 has Edwick Fenwick in it, which is always a bonus. A lot of your films seem to have cellophane on them. Are they unwatched or do you strategically cut the wrapping? One thing I always used to do with the cellophane was I kept it on there so that I would know things I haven't watched on disc as yet. Sometimes I pick up movies I've seen. Other times I want a shorthand to just find something I haven't watched. And sometimes I'll just walk in and grab a cellophane wrapped movie and know that that's one I haven't seen as yet on disc. A lot of the cellophane movies come from the past. From 2020, I started buying movies and consuming them immediately. It's something I kind of strive to do. Been doing it for a number of years and I feel better doing that, but I've still got a backlog of movies to watch. There's Joel, just to show that he doesn't have any organisational skills. What's my favourite sci-fi movie? Oh, that's a difficult one. Because there's a lot, and I know I'm going to make the wrong choice because I'm put on the spot. Favourite science fiction? I think it might be 2001. Yeah. And if you want a kind of quirky answer, I'd say maybe The Last Starfighter or something silly like that. Terracotta distribution. have a few sale. You just blind bought the Millionaire's Express 2-disc limited edition. Anyone know if it's any good? Yes, it is good. It's great. In fact, there's a review on the channel somewhere you can check out. It's a fantastic movie, and that limited edition has like 4 cuts of the movie, I think. Evening, John. Welcome to the channel. Let's see. Do I still have Battles Without Honor and Humanity? You no longer see it behind me. Yes, I still have that, but pretty much the ribbing was just too much. I've moved it. I've moved it out of sight. It's down the bottom now. You can't see it. Only I can see my shame there. You're still missing the worst ones to get. Blood Harvest, Pharaohs, Chainsaw Hookers, Don't Go in the Woods, and more. Blood Harvest is the one that's going to be the toughie to get, I think, from those. You've got a bunch of the hard-to-get ones. Slaughterhouse, Nightmares of a Damaged Mind, Intruder, Mountaintop Motel Massacre, Dead of Winter. Yeah, you're getting there. Have I seen Sleep on the Arrow Player? You struggled with it and found it boring, but still tempted to pick up the Blu-ray for that really nice slip artwork. The joys of being a collector. No, I've not watched it as yet. I thought it looked really nice. The cinematography looked wonderful. I did today watch Laguna Avenue on the Arrow Player, which was bonkers. A kind of body horror, low budget, noirish kind of movie, which was really a lot of fun. Fuzz Aldrin's favourite sci-fi movie is The Tree of Life. What's the best movie I've paid to see and experience? The best movie I've paid to see. See, I've had experiences of movies that were good, but it was the experience was better than the actual movie. I think going to see Jaws at the big screen, a movie I'd seen lots of times before. I knew inside out, and just seeing it in a packed cinema with everybody on the same boat type of thing, enjoying the hell out of it, jumping at the scares, getting in with the atmosphere, the music, it just everything came together. Yeah, that was a wonderful experience. Do you think I'll ever be up to date with every film you own and have everything watched? Yes. Yes, I do. If I didn't think that, I would just have to get rid of them, I think. I've already preened the collection. I will be continuing to do that. And I will watch everything that's in my collection. I'm trying my best. But it can be harder. You know, sometimes there's not enough time in the world to just go and do the things that you want to do. But I will watch all those movies. And because I've got my playlists on the channel, I'm trying to work through certain labels as well to get them. You did get Scalps not long ago. That's good. You have the Last Starfighter limited edition. Do I? No, I do not have it because it's an American only release, not in the UK, unfortunately. What's the shame with the battles? Pretty much it was just always in the background and they weren't open. And that was just, that was it. I just got teased relentlessly. Master Chaos hated Sleep for what it's worth. Jose hates a lot of things. You know, he's got a very individual taste and he knows what he likes and really what he doesn't. So it doesn't go for much. You did manage to get your hands on the slip and booklet for Blood Harvest in the meantime. Wow. There he goes. Joe's, he hasn't opened them. Shame, shame, shame. Your mother loves Jaws and says the cinema experience is superb. It really was. You can pick up a European blue of Last Starfighter for less than 20. And that's fair enough, but this is another thing to do with collecting. Why, when there is a release of a movie and there is a boutique release of a movie, do I go for the boutique release? That's the one I covet, the one I watch. It's almost as if I'm putting a prestige on the boutique over just the regular release. Now it could be just as good, but for some reason I want the boutique one. Hello, good sir. It's Blu-ray Brit, but Lady Street Fighter. Can't wait to watch it after my amazing review. What's next on my watch list? Well, after liking Lady Street Fighter, I enjoyed it. From James Bryan, I today received Jungle Trap, another AGFA title directed by James Bryan. So that'll probably be next on my list, although I do have the Cold War Monsters box set that I'm quite eager to delve into as well. And Luke loves The Tree of Life as well. The worst movie you went to see was Sinister 2. Will Peter Jackson ever finish doing his 4K remasters of Bad Taste, Brain Dead, Meet the Feebles? He's been doing it for years. Those have to come. The fans have been clambering for them. I want Brain Dead. I want that immediately. I want a 4K disc of that. That's something that's going to be amazing. Hopefully this year. Tree of Life and The Fountain in the cinema were incredible. The Fountain is an amazing movie. I love that. It's one of those forgotten gems. You never really hear anybody talk about it. That movie just completely knocked me for six when I first saw it. Joel's just rubbing in what the limited edition Last Starfighter comes with. What release was the hardest for me to find and buy? I think the hardest one that I've actually sought after and paid a little bit above what I should have was the late Mizoguchi set from Masters of Cinema. It was like the big white whale for a collector, you know, for someone who wanted all the Masters of Cinema. It was a title that was really hard to get and was really expensive. And getting one in a really great condition was almost worth paying that exorbitant price. Have I seen the film Local Hero? Yes, I've seen Local Hero, but it's been decades since I revisited that one. It could be one to revisit for the channel. To be fair, you'd love the release of The Last Starfighter, and you haven't upgraded your Hitcher to a European Blue as you're waiting on the Second Sight release later this year. Oh man, yes, I can't wait for the Hitcher in 4K. Master Chaos is a fun channel. You watched his live stream about the ongoing Vinegar Syndrome Valentine's Day sale. Yeah, Master Chaos is great. I watch him. It's one of the few channels I watch. Kind of pick your favourites, and I usually kind of check out Master Chaos. Don't often agree with him, but that's fine. You kind of want differing opinions. I've got a habit of loving most things, and when I don't like something, it's hard to have the energy to talk about it. There's Joe Woods. Just, get off your soapbox, Joe. You did at least like the Fountain. Do you have Shudder? And if so, what do you think of it? You're a big horror fan and not sure whether to bite the bullet for a month or not. You did have a free trial, but that was a few years ago. I had Shudder for 2 years, but it wasn't something that I watched enough. A lot of the movies I'd seen before. I actually kind of jumped and changed to Arrow Player, and I feel that's better value because it's saving me a fortune in all those Arrow discs that I'm not buying anymore because the movies just pop on and you get to check them out. Am I planning to see Drive My Car in the cinema? Well, it all depends if it's one showing it near me and if the time is suitable. If not, it's something I'll probably pick up later on and check out. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about it, though. If he remasters them using the process that he used for the Beatles Get Back, you're all going to be horrified. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what he's going to do with that. John Young, I so want the Second Sight, the Hitcher, exactly the same, trying not to buy the other European Blu-ray. We all know it's coming this year. I would imagine it's going to be coming in late September in time for October. It's going to be the big push movie for then. Just bide your time. We're going to get the best release probably and a crazy amount of extras. Neil, you don't like the Titanic? Would you ever consider guest appearing on a movie talk stream? Yeah, yeah. It's all about time, pretty much. Just now it's almost 9 o'clock. I've been at work today, and I work generally from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come home, a little bit of family time, and by that point, to be honest, I just want to fall into the couch, and I've got some editing to do for movie reviews to get one out for tomorrow. And sometimes you just kind of feel a little bit exhausted and wiped. But I'm always want to talk movies, and if I can make the time, absolutely. Do I like Joe Bob Briggs? Yes, yes, I do. I don't. He's on Shudder a lot, which is where I kind of first discovered him, and then kind of went down the rabbit hole of YouTube to see more of him. Yeah, I kind of like the guy. Do I ever read screenplays of your favorite movies? It's pretty fun to see how the film changed. My favorite script has been Williams Goldman's screenplay for Misery. Yes, I read scripts a fair bit actually. I quite like reading them whenever I'm got some free time. It's been a little while since I've read some, but yeah, some of them can be pretty fantastic. I like to read unproduced ones as well, which you can find, some of the better ones or ones that were have went through various iterations, so you can see where it kind of started and how it changed and went to something else. Do I buy direct from the labels or sellers like Amazon and Zavi? Never use Zavi. I hate them. I just cannot use them at all. I buy Indicator titles straight from Indicator because you get the bundle deals. I buy 88 films direct from them because you get points and you get the movies early and you get money off. So they're always great to buy from. I buy a lot of Masters of Cinema from Amazon because usually that's the best price for them. If Eureka were a little bit cheaper, I'd buy from them because they're, shipping's free. Vinegar Syndrome, I've got the subscription, so I buy directly from them. Yeah, most of the time I buy directly from the companies. It's same with the 101 Films because, like I was saying, you get the movies long before the release date. You're also fighting buying the European blue of Dog Soldiers for the same reason. It's coming soon. I would imagine that's going to be one of the next announcements, maybe April, May-ish time. I'm just guessing here. I don't know anything, but that's got to be coming pretty soon. Any thoughts on Paul Verhoeven's new film Bernadetta? I've not seen Bernadetta. I've heard a little bit about it. I think Verhoeven stuff is excellent, and recently it's been amazing. I think Elle was absolutely fantastic, so it's one I will see, but I don't know when. Shane Black's script for Lethal Weapon is hilarious. Do you know what? I've not read that, but I don't know why. I've read the script for Lethal Weapon 4 numerous times. I don't know why, but yeah, I would definitely get to that. I used to like, particularly in the 90s, I read a lot of Tarantino's screenplays. I found them just the way they flowed were just captivating, much like his movies. Master of Cinema from Base is pretty good as well. I usually jump onto Amazon, and as soon as the titles are announced, I order them, and usually kind of lock into their price promise, and they always get them at really good deals, like a couple of pounds cheaper than they are everywhere else. So, yeah, I kind of do that. I like those. Page Dog Soldiers in 4K is really good. Definitely worth getting. Yeah, I've got a digital copy of that, but I want to see what kind of extras they procure for it. I want to see what kind of package it has. Knowing Second Sight like I do, some of their titles are just given such lavish treatment, like Censor I reviewed yesterday. The extras on that were just immense. So I'm hoping something like that for Dog Soldiers, The Hitcher, Drive that's coming from them this year as well. Elle by Verhoeven was excellent. Elle was amazing. I really loved that. You're looking forward to 2 imprint titles, The Osterman Weekend and The Hunter. Osterman Weekend has been a long while, and The Hunter, I'm not sure if I've seen that one or not. Who's my favourite movie directors? I like Tarantino a lot, which is the easy answer, but I really do like his movies. I like Denis Villeneuve. I think he does great. Hitchcock is always wonderful. Argento, Bava, Sergio Martino, Umberto Lenzi. All these guys are just some of my favourites, and then the usual suspects as well. What I do find fascinating is when you're following someone's career and they start to have dips and peaks and how your relationship changes. Most notably for me, two people, Robert Rodriguez and Kevin Smith. I went from like adoring their movies to become a little bit standoffish and careful with their new releases. 123 Rock fan. You just watched Robocop for the first time and were exceeded by expectations. It's amazing. It's so quotable. It just flows. The violence is super over the top. The sort of running commentary throughout it is terrific. It's just an exceptional action film. Hey Mike, how's it going? It's going well. Having a chit chat about movies and having a beer. John DeHart is his favourite filmmaker. Yeah. Oh. How come, look, I feel that your questions are loaded. Loaded questions. Have I seen much Kurosawa? Sanjuro. Let's see. High and Low. Yojimbo. Ran are the ones that I've seen. And there's some big ones that I'm missing from there, I know. There's one about 7 guys or something. I don't know, not really seen about it. Other ones, I think Throne of Blood I've seen as well. I think that's it. That is all. Okay, Paige, have a great weekend. Enjoy the movies. I hope you like them. Back to Kurosawa. I know you're a huge fan, Luke, and you've kind of nudged me before about Seven Samurai. It's another one of those daunting, massive movies where you're like, I need to get to that at some point. But that point just never comes, and it just becomes this looming figure in the horizon of something that I know I'm going to love, but there's just that trepidation in getting there. You had the same with Rodriguez and Smith. Yeah, I've got Rebel Without a Crew. That's an amazing book. I love that. I never checked out his new movie he did for like 7,000, which he, released recently. Just had no real interest in it at all, to be honest. But that book, I can wholeheartedly agree, is fantastic. Throne of Blood is the best version of Macbeth. Skip the Coen one in Apple TV. I was curious about that. I, wasn't curious enough to hit play, but I was somewhat curious about checking that movie out. So I guess it's just one to miss. That's a shame. Let's see. Do I think I would checking out Argento's new movie? Yes, absolutely. The only thing about it is that it's going straight to Shudder at some point this year. I would love to have seen a new Dario Argento movie in the cinema. That would have been fantastic because, I've never seen any on the big screen. And, I hope it's going to be great. I'm going to go into it positive. I'm not going to check any reviews. I want to see it for my own judgment. I hope it lives up to that expectations. There's Joel asking, is the Coen one not that good? So, okay, so look, you and your mate did the live stream where you watched Lawrence of Arabia and Seven Samurai, which he'd never seen. Amazing double bill, a long double bill. I have seen Lawrence of Arabia, which is pretty amazing. No, I felt like you already knew what Kurosawa I had seen and hadn't seen. They cut far too much out and it's a chore to watch. I also heard that they kind of played about with the script, adding bits and pieces now and again. When's my next Humphrey Bogart movie review? Well, I don't have any on the horizon just now. There is rumours that Indicator are going to release a Humphrey Bogart box set of noir movies, which if it does, I will be all over that. Yeah. Will you recommend a movie to me? Muscle, directed by oh yes, I've seen that advertised. Who made Tony and Hyena? Hyena, I kind of liked. Extremely dark and disturbing character study. Yes, I'll definitely throw that in the watch pile. I have heard a few good things about that. It's just that Craig Fairbrass that for some reason he's like a warning sign. I just never seem to like the movies that he's in. You had a pretty big month of first-time movie watches. Little Mermaid, Akira, Elephant Man, The Matrix, Platoon, Heat, Donnie Darko. Wow, you've got some amazing. Well, they're all amazing. Fantastic. I would like to know if anybody's seen The Matrix Revolutions or is that what it is? Revelations? I don't know. Whatever the new one is, because I really wanted to see that, but I keep hearing super mixed opinions. Larry David beautifully defended Asia Argento in the latest season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. A little bit of nepotism there, I think, with Asia Argento, particularly in Trauma. Neil, your favourite directors are Kubrick, Hitchcock, Lynch, Scorsese, Tarantino, John Huston, David Lean, Billy Wilder, yeah, Nichols, Sergio Leone. Great list, can't argue with any of them at all. Can we can we now please have all comments beginning with the words, well, me and my mate? Could maybe do that. I could just add it anyway. That is a great month. After being introduced to Johnny To through Eureka's Throwdown, you've watched most of his films. What is your opinion on his work? I have only seen Throwdown, Mad Detective, and PTU. I think the guy's amazing. He has this kind of ethereal way of shooting things that just can capture like an evening or an event or a time and place. I think it's wonderful what he does. I would love to know what you think is his favourite movie, because I'm always looking for more of his to check out. You can't remember these things. You could have seen none of his films or been a connoisseur, for all I recall. No. There's still a few classics for me to see. I think my favourite's High and Low, though. I do like Sanjuro as well. John, Boys from County Hell. I've been meaning to watch that. He's not in the chat just now, but Andy, he worked on that. I think he was the focus puller. I could be wrong. Andy, if you watch this later, don't get mad at me if I'm wrong. But he worked on that movie and said it was a great production, and they were like the crew were really proud of it. Matrix Resurrections, you loved it. Oh, good to know, Mike, because I think it looks fantastic, and I kind of wanted to see it in the big screen because I had a chance to see it at home, and I kind of felt like it was a movie you wanted to experience on the biggest screen as you can. The Matrix Resurrections is not bad enough to laugh at, but bad enough to completely forget as soon as it's over. A complete waste of time. Well, we just went from a high right down to a low there. Let's see what else is going on. I thought The Matrix Resurrections was kind of interesting, but horribly executed. Okay. Saw The Matrix Resurrected, thought it was all right. Action scenes were terrible, though. Oh, guys, you're kind of breaking my heart a little bit here. Definitely worth a watch. Very different from the original trilogy, but really good. See, I like the first one, but I'm not so keen on parts 2 and 3. We go, Joe. Let's see. Don't watch any movies with resurrections. Alien Resurrections, Matrix 4, Halloween Resurrection. Although it does have Busta Rhymes karate kicking Michael Myers. You saw Tetsuo, the Iron Man, for the first time. More of an experience than a coherent story. Tetsuo 2 Body Hammer, any good? Yep, it's more of the same, a little bit crazier, fantastic. I'd also like to throw in Ricky-O, or The Story of Ricky. That's another, just, it's not kind of in the same realm as Tetsuo, but it's well worth it. Do we think we're going to get Day of the Dead or the Beyond 4K soon? Got to happen. I don't know who would release the Beyond though, because Arrow had the rights, they lost them. Shameless picked it up. Day of the Dead could be anywhere, but surely after the success of Dawn, it's got to come at some point. Vengeance is an extremely underrated movie from To. You're evangelical about it because no one ever mentions it. Vengeance. Okie dokie. So I'm going to make sure I get to that one as well. You strongly recommend Sparrow and Running on Karma. Running on Karma. I've heard of that one. Sparrow, that's one I've never heard of before. The Beyond needs a 4K release. Just for the last 30 seconds. To see that in 4K would be fantastic. The Matrix Resurrections feels like a parody film. Yikes. But Alien Resurrections is the best one. I saw that in the cinema. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. Alien Resurrection was at least fun. Resurrections was awesome. Truly, The Last Jedi of 2021. The Beyond is Grindhouse releasing over there. Someone's definitely bringing that to 4K. The Matrix is great, but you don't like Keanu Reeves' performance. Is that the new one or the original? Favourite Johnny To movies, The Mission and Exiled. Sorry, I take notes sometimes because I've got a terrible memory. Let's see where we are. Saw Day of the Dead in the cinema when it was released. When the guts starts spilling out, about a third of the cinema walked out. Wow. That's pretty amazing. I think the most people I've seen walk out of a cinema was Clerks 2. Got about 20 minutes in. Nothing particularly heinous had happened or were going to happen, but people just decided to start leaving. Just began with a couple and then people just followed after that. Did I ever manage to watch the triplets of Belleville? No, I did not. That's the animated one. I've got it on my watch list. I've just never gotten around to it. More shame. Oh, man. You tried getting into Alien Resurrection when you were a kid, but they denied me. You get into Alien 3 at 6-year-olds, though, and Eyes Wide Shut at 13. Strange. Maybe they just were trying to stop you from seeing a bad movie. Do you know what? Most of the time, stand in silence, we'll know exactly what you mean. 88 Films is doing 4K now. Do you expect them to put out previously released titles like Arrow does? No, I don't. I think they'll go for new stuff just now. I'd like to think they would, although there would be some titles that I would like to see them release in 4K. But I think a lot of the time, their Blu-rays are fine. The kind of best quality of the movies that they have. I don't know what they're going to release in 4K next, but I'm excited. Kind of a strange question. What are your favourite food scenes in a film? Every scene they do with food in Only Yesterday is great. I think Chef, the Jon Favreau movie, is Jon Favreau. Did I make him French there? Jon Favreau. Yeah, the movie Chef, just the food just looked amazing. Definitely food porn. Am I excited for Sonic the Hedgehog 2? I will see it. I liked the first one. So yeah, I'll give it a watch. Cobra is great. Watched it for the first time in years last Friday. I don't think I've seen that in a good 15 years. Keanu was, whoa, all the way through Resurrections. But that's his thing. The Story of Ricky, yes, you get the 88 Films box set. Fantastic and crazy film. Always on the lookout for similarly berserk films. I don't think it's got a UK release, but Fist of the North Star is one that I remember being pretty crazy. It was quite good as well. Hellraiser 2 had a similar walkout with the razor scene, unless it was me causing them to walk out. Triplets of Belleville is incredible. You've actually been to the Cuban restaurant they feature in Chef. The food is incredible. Yeah, it just looks amazing. Idris Elba cast as Knuckles is great casting. He was born for that role in Sonic 2. Do you know, for me, the first one, Jim Carrey, it was great to see him back in that kind of silly Ace Ventura craziness that he kind of did. Really fun. You ordered the Anaconda set from 88 Films. The 15% birthday discount is a nice thing. Oh, well, I'll need to wait to April. Maybe get a 15% discount there. That would be nice. The Anaconda set is pretty good. I like that. I got the original version when it came out. It should be good. Have I watched the Miami Connection yet? No. No, I always get this mixed up with another movie. What did I get that mixed up with? No, I cannot think. The Grand Buffet is probably your favourite food scenes. Am I excited for A Fistful of Vengeance out Thursday on Netflix? It features the guys from The Raid and Mortal Kombat. I've not heard of that movie. I might actually have a look up in that because I do kind of like those actors, so it would be fun. The Miami Connection rules. Do you know what it is? Sorry, I'm racking my brain trying to think. It's Miami Blues that I keep thinking about whenever I think of that movie. Have I ever seen Deadfall, which is Nicolas Cage's most Nicolas Cage performance? Nope, I have not seen that one either. Let's see. You don't like digipacks, so you're actually more happy getting the new Anaconda set instead of the first one. I probably would have, well, because I like those kind of bulky sets. I think they're nice aesthetically. But I already had it. I wasn't going to buy it again. You know, that's a good call, Danny. Goodfellas has some great food scenes. I like just watching slicing the garlic with a razor in jail. Do I think in this day and age Maniac would be passed uncut by the BBFC? I don't think anybody can guess what that body would do with any kind of movie. They are notoriously flaky about what they will pass and what they won't pass these days. I have no idea. I'd like to think they would pass it. I like to think they would treat us all as adults and be able to judge movies on our own. Blah, blah. Are you talking about the new Mortal Kombat movie? I'm curious about that. You recently picked up Perdita Durango from Severin. Truly one of the most batshit crazy flicks you've ever seen, jaw-dropping. Yes, from the opening scene, that movie just rocked. Seeing Alex Cox pick up a fetus on the highway was just crazy. It was a bonkers movie. Wonderful. Graham, you love American Rickshaw, New York Ninja, and Raw Force. Miami Connection is for you. If it's over here, I'll pick it up. If it's not, Joel, you can send it to me. Top 5 spaghetti westerns. Good, the Bad, the Ugly. The Grand Jewel. What else would I put on that? See, I'm trying not to put all the Dollars trilogy movies on there. Because I think I have to put them all on there. I like them. And Day of Anger. Yeah, Lee Van Cleef and all of them. If you're registered on 88's page, I am. They give you a 15% voucher code on your birthday. And you can use it any time in the next 3 months. Cool. Food scenes, Brain Dead, the custard scene. That scene is amazing. The shaky hand, the ear being in the custard. That thing just sticks with you. I cannot wait to see that. Annihilation is your favourite Mortal Kombat movie? You can't. It's out of print and it goes from hundreds of bucks. So basically what I get from that, Joel, is you can get it, you're just not willing to. Yeah, the new Mortal Kombat. I wasn't. Kano was funny. Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I found it a little bit. It started off really strong with the feudal Japan setting. I loved that, and then it just progressively got more typical for me. Miami Connection is on YouTube at the moment. That'll do. Light the Fuse. Sartana is coming. Oh, Sartana as well. Then you start going into Django and things like that. That's too hard a question. Just 5 spaghetti westerns. Yeah, you could pick any of the Leone ones. Once Upon a Time as well. Do you know what? That's not something I'm comfortable just giving out a straight answer. I would have to sit and seriously consider that, because there are some amazing spaghetti westerns. Even looking at the Vengeance Trails box set, there were some great movies in there as well. You enjoyed Mortal Kombat Annihilation as well. And Nostromo 80. Hello. I love your little logo there, the J&B whiskey. The Sartana box set is great. You watched God Said to Cain yesterday. God Said to Cain's fantastic. I'm looking forward to The Offer. It's about the making of The Godfather. I'd be interested in that. I'm not saying Annihilation is a great movie, but you love it much for the mess it is. I don't think I've ever watched that. That was the sequel that came out pretty much like a year after Mortal Kombat, I think, if I'm right. The band Primus made a cool song and music video about Lee Van Cleef. You watched A Fistful of Dynamite recently. It has to be Leone's most underrated film. That's another great one. You can't go over the great. I can't go over The Great Silence. Would I put it on the list of my 5 favourite spaghetti westerns? Probably not, because I'd want to have movies on that I revisited often. The Great Silence is a terrific movie, but man, that thing just darkens your whole outlook for the next week or so. I like Brian Thompson's performance in Annihilation. Have I seen Deep House, the underwanted haunted house? I've heard some mixed things about that. I haven't seen it. Enzio Castellari made some good spaghetti westerns. Keoma and Any Can Play are both worth checking out. Yep, Keoma is great with Nero again. I think he's the one that's got a couple of Poliziotti movies coming out from Arrow soon. What's my top 5 spy movies? See, top 5 lists are hard because you're always missing stuff out, but I will tell you one of my favourite ones. And it's not super spy in your face or anything like that. It's just Spy Game. Tony Scott's Spy Game. Not enough people talk about this movie. Robert Redford, Brad Pitt, utterly amazing. That would probably be definitely in my top 5, maybe my favourite. The Great Silence is Graham's favourite feel-good movie. Yes, if I want to feel depressed, that is the one that I would go to. Oh, it's horrid. What's my opinion on The Exorcist 2, The Heretic? Yeah. I mean, you can't really follow up The Exorcist with anything really that's going to be anywhere near as good as that. So why not just make a complete booey movie that's a bit of a mess? I do prefer Exorcist 3 though. Yeah. Do I like ambiguous movie endings? I think it makes a movie more rewatchable and open for discussion, because you do have that ambiguity. You do have that way that it could fall into how you're viewing the movie at that time. One way you may see it this, another way you may see it that. I do particularly fond of that sometimes. Who would I like to see the next James Bond? Do you know, I'm not entirely sure. I'm glad I don't have to make the decision because whoever is chosen will be both the right and the wrong one. Um, I I think Tom Hardy would be interesting, although it would be hard to see a James Bond who mumbles. Michael Fassbender would be good, or maybe there's some kind of unknown that they're going to unleash on us. Favorite spy movie is The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. Yep, that's a great one. I reviewed that a little while ago. Really enjoyed that one at all. Cutthroats 9. I've not seen that one. No, no, you've got me there, Steve. Never even heard of that. Let's see. When you were growing up in the late 70s, early 80s, Paul Newman's film Fort Apache, The Bronx, but it's never had a DVD Blu-ray release. I remember watching that on TV once before, just not knowing what the hell I was going to get. Did I like North Sea Hijack? Yes. Yes, I did. Roger Moore is hilarious in the movie. Anthony Perkins is the bad guy's terrific. I think it was also called Folks at one point. Yeah, get it. If you can get it in like a deal or that, it's great entertainment. You think it's impossible to make everyone happy when choosing a Bond? Yes. I think if Idris Elba was just younger, like, younger enough to carry the franchise for another 10, 15 years, I think he would have been a great choice. Another one you watched last night and actually enjoyed, Long Time Dead. I've seen that one. I've got the DVD of that. That's the Ouija board one with the young boy that was in EastEnders or something. God, if my memory's right. Faint recollections of that one. James Norton, I think, would make a great Bond. You like him in McMafia? I don't know. The Bond one's too hard. I think nowadays that they're going to give the Bond character more to do, so you need a kind of actor that can back it up. No, I said before, look, and it's a wacky choice, but I think I'd like to see. Seems weird even saying it. Scott Adkins do it. I know he's more like direct-to-video action movies type of thing, but the guy can act, and he's got the physique. I think he'd be quite interesting. A little bit charismatic. I love The Great Silence. It's so grim. Stuck with me for weeks after watching it on Moviedrome. So bleak. So bleak. You'd like to see Henry Golding as Bond? Your favourite spy movie is Top Secret? I've not seen that in years. Why do they have such long tenures? Do a few one-shots? No. No, I want to buy into my Bond. I want to have Bond for a decade or so. Clive Owen would have made a great Bond once upon a time. He would have. Yep. Get Brosnan back and do an old... Look, that's an interesting idea. I would like to see Brosnan come back because I think he didn't really get a fair crack at the whip. Great Bond, horrible scripts with the exception of GoldenEye. His Bond movies were some of the worst, but he was a great charismatic Bond figure. Tom Hardy's a great actor, but I want someone who's not established to get the role of Bond. Yeah, let's see. The EastEnders guy from Long Time Dead was also in one of the rebooted I Spit in Your Grave films. Oh. I'd like to see Richard Madden as Bond, British, late 30s. That's an interesting choice. Yeah, I could maybe see that. He's not too big either, so he could grow into the role. You think having one shots would make the movies more interesting? Possibly, but I still like that connectivity. I'd like the same actor, but individual stories that aren't really connected. We don't need to have a connected universe. Well, choosing between North Sea Hijack and Zombie High because of shipping space ordering. But I'll get it next time. I think I'm ordering from 88 soon anyway. Yeah, I don't know about Zombie High. It wasn't one I picked up. I'm going to get that in the sale at some point. Never say never too. Alfie Allen for Bond. Nah, he's a bit too... No, not my choice. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to call it quits for tonight. I've had a good night chit-chatting. I'm going to come back and do this more, maybe be a little bit more prepared and definitely have more to say, but it's been great fun hanging out and just talking film. So if you haven't done so, like the video, because that does stuff for YouTube. Oh, sorry, Amir, I'm just leaving, so it's hello and goodbye. Have a good one. Thanks very much. Appreciate you all dropping by. Hope you have a great evening, day, wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.